But yeah, only Protoss players here in the upper half of the bracket, except for HonMonO. HonMonO versus Protoss, that is what the upper half of the bracket is. And I feel like that's ideal for HonMonO. But we'll see. We'll see if any of these Protoss players can stop him. Can anyone slow him down? Can anyone bring HonMonO to justice? I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's stop him, Papi. He's an animal. He needs to be stopped. This can't go on. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have our South Korean Terran player, the purple Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss from the land of Singapore, also representing Team Hyper 1. It is LeoRusher. Again, LeoRusher, Cristiano, Mindle VK, Forjumi, Holden. We have a lineup of Protoss here. And can HonMonO work his way through them? Or can he be stopped? Let's go. Let's find out. Let us find out. Just catching him in the chat. Geralt versus Jomek for the round of 8. Let's go. Again, 2 Polish players. And likewise, again, have faith in Cristiano. I expect Cristiano to have a really solid run. He's going to be favored making a deep run here. So if you're a fan of Polish players, you know, have faith. Have faith. For the time being, though, it is going to be a Rax Expand setup, an economic opener out of HonMonO, not an overly aggressive one. But just because the opener is economic doesn't mean that we're going for a macro game. Not at all. Not with HonMonO involved. As we can see, LeoRusher being so annoying here is going to be tasing away at that SCV. It does delay the expansion. Nice moves here from LeoRusher, but it looks like, ooh, the Marine has arrived and we will be able to chase this back. Second SCV comes down. We do kind of shuffle those SCVs. And behind this, LeoRusher opening up with a gate expand, or a gate cyber expand. We're getting into our openers. We're getting into our game. Factory on the way for HonMonO. Again, just a Rax expand into a 1-1-1, most likely. Meanwhile, LeoRusher going for a Twilight counter opener. I do like this. I do like this here for LeoRusher. I spoke about it before, how I'm not too fond of Stargate openers, specifically against HonMonO, just because of how aggressive he is. I do think that Twilight counter openers can be safer, just because you can really adjust how many gateways you want to work with, and by adjusting it, you can be safer more and more against HonMonO. You don't want to be too greedy and too economic against him. Otherwise, you'd be caught with your pants down. You don't want to be caught with the pants down, papi. As Adept's going to be shading in. Going to be threading a shade towards the main. Do you have HonMonO? Likewise, trying to cash out Adept as well. He's not looking! A nice catcher from HonMonO as LeoRusher, he just wasn't paying attention. The Adept will go down. Did leave it inattentive a little bit too long. As LeoRusher is opening up with additional gateways. We see 1 gateway done, and ooh, that is going to be a 4-gate opener. 4-gate Blink Stalker. How do you beat an aggressive Terran player? A cheesy Terran with aggression yourself. LeoRusher is going to be in the face of HonMonO, and I think this is where HonMonO struggles the most. I spoke about how HonMonO, he thrives if his opponent plays standard. If his opponent is aggressive, then HonMonO can have a harder time. If his opponent is in his face. So we'll see how this dynamic works. As LeoRusher, he's going to be delaying his third by quite a bit. He won't be, this isn't a 2-base all-in, just a very delayed 3rd base, and we're going to be focusing on warp-ins, focusing on our Stalker production and our aggression. HonMonO going for his drop across the map. Likewise, working towards his tanks, building up his bio army. With this fast tank production, we can defend here on 2 bases and survive the 4-gate blink. But before we can talk about surviving the blink, we have to survive the medevac drop. Here we go. We have Marines and a Widowmine. 2 Widowmines even. We'll be dropping into the main base. Likewise, we see LeoRusher coming in from the right-hand side. How good is the Might Shot going to be? The Prism! Up! Ooh, a Prism does go down. Big pick-up at the same time. The medevac falls as well. Ooh, both players with some heavy losses. As we trade the Prism, 1 Stalker, and 1 Adept for the entire medevac drop. What's important? We didn't lose any probes. Not a single worker went down. So that wasn't a bad trade for LeoRusher. The Prism does slow down the push though. So again, really good retargeting there by HonMonO, focusing down that War Prism. Third base soon to be on the horizon here. LeoRusher, his aggression is delayed, as we still need to get that War Prism across the map. Stalkers have arrived. Tank repositions. Ooh, and we do force back those Stalkers. We have 1 tank in the natural, 1 tank in the main. And we have 1 bunker in each base as well. The Observer now comes in, but the bunker in the main is finishing up. We don't have that many Marines. Because we threw away so many Marines in that drop, not that much to defend, actually. We tank the shot. We dive on top of the tank. It's going to be focused down. The tank falls. We deny the repair on the bunker. Very good positioning with the Stalkers. Very nicely done. Good blinks here from LeoRusher. SCVs are going down. Another tank has arrived. But we have lost control of the natural. At the same time, we do have some auto-turret harass across the map. We get a couple of probe kills. But LeoRusher, he is pushing in. And he's breaking through. Gets another tank. Does focus on another tank. And again, we can see HonMonO in a lot of trouble. Losing 11 SCVs. Marauders, they are pushing in. More auto turrets going down. Again, this Raven being such a nuisance, but that CC is getting low. It's getting very low here, and it's going to be focused down. The repairs are too good. Oh, yeah, not the best decision there to try to focus down the base. We take a lot of damage on those Stalkers. We take a lot of losses. We do engage here with the ground army. Ooh, bleeding out 2 additional Stalkers there, and HonMonO, he is holding. He does hold. Again, LeoRusher getting too greedy, diving on that CC, is expanding behind this, does have his Nexus, doesn't have saturation. His probe count's still quite low. It looks like he wants to dive again.
Your probes are getting wrecked.
Gets an SCV, gets a couple of Marines. Good blinks overall. Doesn't lose anything this time. Going for charge behind this. Still building up his probe count. Stim is done. We got... Wait, what? We got Neo Steel frames? That must have been a misclick, right? Very interesting decision there by HonMonO. Sorry, I didn't even realize he researched Neo Steel frames here before +1. Meanwhile, Stella drop into the main base. SCVs are going down. Hull pick up there by LeoRusher, saving all his units. Does escape. Does manage to escape. As it looks like, yeah, the aggression has subsided. HonMonO has successfully defended. I wonder, okay, so Neo Steel frames, it allows you to fill in more units into the bunkers, and it does boost their defense as well. Like, not just bunkers, but also planetaries and turrets, I think, as well. I think they also get boosted. I wonder if that was intentional just because we were so afraid of the push. I don't think that was worth it, but but okay. Look at that, we can fit 3 Marauders. This is not something I see too often, I'll be honest. Here we go. We collapse on this once again. We try to focus down the tank. Good juggling there by HonMonO. Saves the tank. Does save the tanks as he is on siege, but they're breaking through. They're breaking. We focus on the medevac, and oh my god, the juggling. HonMonO, really good micro here from the from the Terran. Saving all his tanks, saving all of his medevacs. Really good micro there. And that was a little bit wasteful by LeoRusher, as he's falling behind in the production, or sorry, in his army, in the supply. Scan does reveal the 3rd. HonMonO. Getting ready to eventually move out. He's double expanding, going for a 3rd and a 4th. Ooh, okay. these are late. These are late bases here. But double expanding makes sense. HonMonO, he doesn't believe in his ability to all in from here. I don't blame him. I don't think I believe either. If he moved out with everything, if he pulled the boys, I don't know if he could end his opponents. With Chargelots and Archons, not going to happen. So HonMonO is going to try and get into a longer macro game. HonMonO, he has now evolved, at least for this game, into Hon Macro. Hon Macro, let's go, baby. We're going to try and play macro from a difficult position. Meanwhile, LeoRusher, likewise, diving on this. Oh my god, does try to focus down the Raven. Raven does survive. Oh my god. But the Zealots, they're breaking through. They get on top of the tanks. They do clean up the tanks on the low ground. But HonMonO, he does hold. Does force back the army. Was a big anti-armor missile as well. And LeoRusher lost almost every Stalker. In that fight, he lost almost every single Stalker because of his aggressive blink. Again, not the wisest of moves there from our Protoss. And his Stalker count is down to 4. Trying to take a 4th base, trying to expand. Maintains his economy. Hasn't taken additional gases. Bear that in mind. No gases at the 3rd, at the 4th, and only 1 gas at the natural. Which is why he's reinforcing with Zealots. It's all he can really afford. Doesn't really have the economy for any kind of higher form of tech, not yet. Meanwhile, Zealots, they collapse in from behind. They push in towards the 3rd base. Can LeoRusher pull this off? He does have the supply lead. He collapses on this army. Collapses on the 3rd. 27 SCVs go down as we're also getting damage done in the main base. Zealots in the main, Zealots in the 3rd, and Zealots now in the natural. Every SCV is falling, and it looks like LeoRusher, he may have just done it. I spoke about how HonMonO, he thrives in this matchup, but LeoRusher with the 4-gate blink snowballs out of control. Again, forcing HonMonO to be on the defensive. He's mulling his heart out. He has a planetary, but we don't care. We're camping the main. We're camping the production. Ghost has arrived, but HonMonO, right now, he's being fueled by one thing and one thing only. That is not SCVs, that's not mules. He's being fueled by copium. The copium is real. GG gets called. And LeoRusher, he will take game number 1. GG. Does take a lead in the series. Again, having a lot of success here, being the aggressor himself, taking that role away from HonMonO, taking control of the game away from HonMonO as well. And that's what's important here. Like HonMonO, he thrives in his ability to be in the driver's seat, to be the one to dictate the pace of the game, to force his opponent to react to him, and that is just something that did not happen here in game 1. Didn't happen. Here we go. Now getting into our next game. Game número 2. I'm just double checking, and does look like there is going to be a separate bracket for the top 8. So I will have to adjust the command, the bracket command. We'll have to adjust. We already have a couple of players qualifying in. We have MinoVK confirmed, for Jimmy confirmed, and Nickrat confirmed as well. Pretty big names. We are still rounding off the round of 16. But yeah, so far there's nothing kind of lagging behind. There's no portion of the bracket really holding everyone up. We're all in the same round. We're all just wrapping up the round of 16, trying to figure out how the round of 8 does look. And we'll see if it all ends here and now, because spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player down in this series, by the way. He's down in this series. He needs to claw his way back in here and now to force the ace match. It's the South Korean Terran player, representing Team Hyper 1, HonMonO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Protoss player, Representing Team Hyper 1 as well, from the land of Singapore, it is LeoRusher. And speaking of rushing, we have a proxy Rax. We have one at home, we have one across the map. This should be 2 Rax Reaper. This should be 2 Rax Reaper from HonMonO. I wonder if we're going to go for a different variation. Again, HonMonO, he does whip out his own builds. He is terrifying in that respect. Very creative as well. So we'll keep an eye on HonMonO as he's taking his gases. LeoRusher comes in for the scouts. It does confirm the Rax. Does get eyes on the gases as well. And show us the real... No, oh my, we're going for Proxy Marauder? Very interesting. Okay. Proxy Marauder here from HonMonO. Tech Lab is on the way for that Marauder production. At the same time, he's amassing Marines. Very interesting build here. We'll see how he does piece this all together. We'll see how he's able to accomplish this as well. Yeah, Concussive Shell being researched. Marines are amassing back at home. So far, we're trying to sell a story. We are trying to make things look as if they are normal when they're anything but. Marines fanning up. Pro racing back home. It's just going to be a gate expand. Everything, like LeoRusher is going for a standard opener. Gate expand into a Twilight Council. Doesn't realize something is wrong. Something's up. The boys are being pulled. Ooh, and they do barely avoid the scouts. The probe didn't see. The probe did not see. We don't know. We don't notice. No shield battery. We should be throwing one down soon. If we knew what was happening. The probe does bypass the Marines. We're coming in for another scout, but here come the Marauders. And what do we have at home to defend? We have one Adept. And it's across the map. No shot. There's nothing at home. One Stalker is in production. One Gateway is done. That is all we have, and we avoid the natural. We go straight for the main base. Boys, they have to be pulled. Good kiting so far here by HonMonO. Kiting back towards that bunker, but it's not done. Adept has returned back home as well, but it's going to be focused down. It will be killed. Trading an Adept for a Marauder. SCVs are being focused down as well, but the bunker, does it finish? It does. Uh-oh, the bunker does finish. That is going to be the staging ground here for HonMonO. Can he make his way to the bunker? Marauders, they are pushing forward. Yeah, LeoRusher, he knows he cannot let the Marauders anywhere near that bunker. Cannot allow that to happen. Probes are going down, but so much economic damage. 13, 15 probes. This is becoming too much. This is becoming too much at this point. Some Marauders, they collapse here on the Stalkers. There's only 2. Now there's only 1. Big overextension by LeoRusher. And we dive into the bunker as well. Shield battery is done. We're going to be able to focus down these Marauders. Overcharges force, but shield battery gets focused down. We lose 1 Stalker and we're going to lose another. As it will be focused down. Oh. And LeoRusher, he's down to nothing. There's nothing left. Only probes. And we can't afford a Stalker. It's too expensive. We can't afford it. No. HonMonO, he's expanding back at home. He's transitioning, but he's already killed his opponent. LeoRusher down to 9 probes. Forced to recall into the main. Does recall to safety here. He has 1 sentry to defend with a force field. But HonMonO, he has done it. He's double expanding, throwing down a natural and a 3rd CC. He's crazy. Doesn't need to do this. He could just throw down a factory. Could do whatever he wants. There we go. The boys, they're being pulled once again to kill the probe. Before coming back. HonMonO's done this before. I don't understand it. What a Chad move. Aye. 4th CC gets thrown down. Again, HonMonO, he knows how far ahead he is. He could throwing down a sensor tower as well. Aye. The confidence here by HonMonO. As he's doing whatever he wants. Again, he could go into like a factory, a 2nd Rax, into a 3rd Rax. He could, which would end the game. He could just end the game here if he had focused on production, but no, he goes for 4cc, which means he is happy to drag this out. HonMonO basically is telling us, hey, I'm good to sit here and be ahead and max out and push out at like 15 minutes. LeoRusher going for DTs, it's his only chance. His only way back in. Dark Templar, but we have turrets already on the way. The eBay was done long ago. We already had a turret into the main. And more sensors that was being thrown down. HonMonO just cementing his win here, cementing himself here. GG gets called as soon as we see the turret, and HonMonO will tie up the series 1-1. GG. We're going to the ace match. We are going to the ace match. As we are catching up. And we're going all the way to game 3. I'm here for it. I am ready for it. So let's go. See in the chat. Cristiano versus Middle will be soon, I think. Yeah, it should be soon. It is now starting. It is now starting. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, we're just progressing in this tournament. Young Yakov! No shot. I just realized my mistake. I just realized we have a missing player. Now, what I was going to say is there was one clear favorite in the lower half of the bracket. There was one clear favorite player. There were two. For the upper half, it's Cristiano. For the lower half, it was Young Yakov. Young Yakov. He was top 2 alongside Cristiano. But Young Yakov no-showed. He didn't show up. He was walkovered by Chuchilla. And as a result, Young Yakov, he will not be taking part in this tournament, which means suddenly that lower half of the bracket is much more wide open. I would now say that Geralt is going to be coming in as the favorite player in the lower half of the bracket. I say that, there's still Nicaract, there's still Shameless, there's still some big names down there. It's not a sure thing, but Geralt is going to be the next Titan down there. Waving that Protoss flag. We'll see if Nicaract can stop him or can stop his next Protoss opponent. For now, though, we're focusing on our half of the bracket. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have our South Korean Terran player. The purple Terran representing Team Hyper 1, tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Protoss player, also representing Team Hyper 1, as this is a team kill forced into the ace match from the land of Singapore. It is LeoRusher. Again, HonMonO, cheesiest Terran player in South Korea. Did go for the Proxy Marauder here. A very unique Proxy Marauder build that he did whip out in Game 2. Did catch LeoRusher completely off guard. He was not ready for it whatsoever, not prepared. And he just fell too far behind, losing too much. Ooh, but LeoRusher, once again being aggressive. And again, I like this. I like seeing LeoRusher be in the face of HonMonO 2-gate. It's going to be a 2-gate opener from LeoRusher. 2-gate, followed by the Cybercore, followed by the eventual expansion. With a 2-gate opener, we can rush into earlier. We can go Zealot first, into Stalkers, into Adepts. We're going to be amassing an army, amassing units, and getting across the map. We're going to be in the face of HonMonO. HonMonO does go for a Rax Expand once again, as we saw in Game 1. Is going for an economic opener to start with. Is going for something more economic here to begin with. But where will this lead us? Where are you taking us? We see LeoRusher amassing his Stalkers, is chronoing them out. Back at home, HonMonO going for a Rax into the factory. So it's not going to be a 3 Rax, for example, or 4 Rax. This should lead into a starport, but HonMonO could go into 2 more Raxes and go for a 2-base all-in. On a map like Hard Lead, makes sense. Would make a lot of sense here for HonMonO. But again, we'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on him as the Stalkers are finally moving out. They get across the map as all the bunkers on the way. Oh, Stalkers, they can have their way with this army. They do outrange the Marines. And they go for the SCV. They're looking to deny that bunker. And Marines are being focused down. Second SCV goes down as well. But the bunker should finish. It should and it will. It did cost us a couple of SCVs, but only 2. And with the bunker, we're holding. So really safe opener here out of HonMonO. Does survive, does hold with that bunker. Behind this, LeoRusher getting into his Twilight Council. It's going to be a 2-gate opener into a Twilight Council, into a Robo. Most likely going to be Blink. Now, the question becomes, especially with a more aggressive build, it's going to be at least 3 gateways. It's going to be at least 3-gate Blink. Do we go up to 4? Do we go 4-gate Blink Stalker? Is that the direction we want to go in? Meanwhile, one Adept shades in past the Mineral Line. Stalker does waddle in as well. But good stutter stepping here from HonMonO. Yeah, it does focus down those units. Good trade here for the Terran. Here we go. And we spoke about the potential for 2-base all-in. I'm feeling it here. HonMonO, he throws down a 2nd and 3rd racks before Starport. So he's going to be building up a very hefty bio army. Going to be building up his tanks as well. It looks like he's going to be hitting with +1. And I imagine we will be pushing out on 2 bases. We're going to be quite committed here. We could even pull the boys. I can see it already. I can see HonMonO pull the boys. LeoRusher, oh, going for a 2-gate Blink opener into a 3rd. Uh-oh. Economic follow-up here by LeoRusher, rushing into that 3rd base. Very economic, which means he won't be applying much pressure at all here to HonMonO. HonMonO going for a safety turret here at the natural. And how big is this push going to be? How committed will HonMonO be with this? Will he pull the boys? That's what I want to know. Behind this, working towards 2-gate Blink into Erotics Bay, into Colossus production. We're getting there. 3rd gateway has been thrown down. Colossus are on the horizon. +1 attack, almost halfway done. Likewise, so is Stim. And I don't see a starport. I don't see a starport yet here from HonMonO. Give it to us, Papi. You know you want to pull the boys. Tanks of on siege. We are pushing, and this is lined up to hit with Stim, with +1. We are moving out, and there we go. The boys are being pulled. It is a 2-base all-in. You can see this. You can smell it a mile away. Here we go. It's all or nothing. Either the game ends here and now, or, I mean, the game is going to end with this. Either HonMonO breaks LeoRusher, or he dies trying. And again, LeoRusher, he went 2-gate into a 3rd. He barely has an army. He's got a handful of Stalkers. I mean, he will be able to pick away at these Marines. And he went Disruptor, not Colossus. Uh-oh. He went Disruptor. He has 1 Nova. 1 Nova to work with. Stalkers are being focused down as HonMonO, he started steps forward in towards the natural base. Shield batteries are finishing up, but the tanks take siege up. They're going for the pylon. They focus down the pylon. Show us the Nova. It is gonna go up. No, it will not. Disruptor gets focused down. We dive on top of the army. We're focusing down the tanks. We get 1, we get 2. And LeoRusher, he's holding, he's defending. He's cleaning this up. He had to go for a drastic move. Did dive on the army, but he is defending. He's holding, and he's getting away with the 3rd base. HonMonO behind this, getting back into tanks, starting up +1 armor, +1 defense. And LeoRusher, he's weathered the storm. It did cost him a Disruptor, did cost him quite a lot of units. But we do hold, we do survive. Here we go. As we can see, HonMonO, he's trying to lure the army out. He's trying to cache the army in the center of the map. Cheeky move here by HonMonO, just lying in wait. Reinforcing with more tanks. This 2-base all-in isn't over, by the way. It's not over. The first push was the hardest. It was the strongest, is what I will say. And this second push has less chance of actually working. But HonMonO, he's going for it. Does scan, does see the Colossus. Tank does siege. Never goes off. And this time it will connect here with the tank, with the Marines. Shots going to be going off here on those Stalkers. And the boys, they've been pulled for a second time. We top up the tank. Oh my god. The boys, they're here for the second time, for the second round. Because of course they are, because it's HonMonO. Who is Hon Macro? He doesn't exist. Not anymore, but we have a second Colossus. And we have 3 shield batteries. 3 shield batteries at the natural. 1 at the third. LeoRusher. He is holding. Never goes up. That's a kill in the bunker. Good pickup. That's going to be kill on the bunker. But second bunker. Third bunker on the way. Sorry, second bunker on the way even. Yeah, we collapse on the army. Tank going to be going down. The boys are stuck behind the force fields. They cannot engage. And LeoRusher, he's having his way with this army. The Stalkers are being focused down, though. Uh-oh. Stalkers are going down. The Colossus looking very exposed. A good target firing there by HonMonO. We're up to 3 Colossus. Not much to support it, though. HonMonO does have the supply lead. Another tank has arrived. Boys are being pulled. We focus down. The workers are going for the Colossus. We get 1. 1 Colossus goes down. The others are getting low. Again, LeoRusher overextending a little bit there. He also pulled the boys to try to make that happen. 1 gateway force. He's going for the Artosis pylon once again. Disruptor has arrived. Thankfully, there was another pylon behind this. Never goes off. No reaction. No. Oh, he wasn't looking. He wasn't looking, Bobby. Big shot there on the Marauders. And that could be it. That could be the moment that LeoRusher was hoping for. Does bleed out one of those disruptors, but we're running out of steam. HonMonO, the tank, it goes down. Imagine this army with an extra Marauder, with an extra handful of Marines. Maybe we defend the tank. Maybe we focus down the Colossus. Concussive Shell is finishing. Again, that Nova was huge for LeoRusher. And Depot goes down. LeoRusher still amassing his army. More bunkers on the way. Let's go. Yes, we do collapse on this. We had an okay amount of force fields, but they kind of worked against LeoRusher a little bit there. As HonMonO, he rotates over towards the left-hand side. Again, we're up to 2 Colossus. Bunkers are being cancelled. HonMonO behind this. What do we do? We throw down the third. Oh my god. HonMonO. I mean, he is up in workers. True. He is up in economy. Technically, he can be up in economy. But what about the army? The tank. The tank. It's going to be chased down. A big loss here for HonMonO. The tank does fall. And LeoRusher is going for a big counter-attack. And can we survive? We have 2 tanks. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, we have 2 tanks. We have a bunker. We have a turret. HonMonO should be okay. Can LeoRusher force a cancel on that CC? Can he deny the third? HonMonO, he's up in supply. Up in workers, up in army. Down a third base, but that's soon about to change. Ooh, as Marines, they somehow get in. No shot. They bypass the army. They get in across them. They sneak out, and 13, 14 probes go down. 1 Zealot to defend. It's going to be cleaned up, and we are racing back home. We recall. The army's overstint, but this was worth it. It was a hit squad of Marines, and they killed 23 probes. And just like that, HonMonO is a commanding position. He went for 2 boy pulls, by the way. He pulled the boys twice. He was all in, and he has done enough damage. He's now macroing out of it. 3rd CC is done. 4th CC is on the way. We're getting to the rest of our Vaxes. Medevac production. We can now sustain ourselves. We can now stim. We can now heal. Tanks are building up. HonMonO, he's ahead. He's in the lead. And LeoRusher, it slipped away. It slipped away, Bobby. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Not like this. As HonMonO gonna be going for a tank drop. This is crazy. This is wild. This is so risky. He goes for a pure tank drop across the map. Tank shot's going to be going. If he goes for the mineral line, LeoRusher, do we turn back around again as we deny mining? But this also means that tanks are not at home to defend. HonMonO's vulnerable. He's vulnerable right now. We're coming in. If we had the tanks back at home, we could defend. We could hold. But here we go. Good force fields here on the army. Hot pickup by HonMonO. Gets onto the other side of the wall. And he's going to have to pull the boys. Ay, ay, ay. LeoRusher, he's all in. He's completely all in here. Gets across the map, breaks into the natural base, going for the third. SCVs are going down. The tanks are coming back home. Do we have Blink? We do. Uh-oh. The tanks! They turn back around for a moment. 14 SCVs go down. Here we go. 14 SCVs. We're breaking through here at the natural. Viking's gonna be going ham. Oh. Ooh. They do get a lot of damage done on those Colossus. Natural base is going to be retaken. The longer this goes on, the better it is for HonMonO. LeoRusher is still on 26 probes. Again, he doesn't have an economy. He doesn't have an economy right now. He has to end the game. He's coming in. Tanks are sieging. 2 tanks on the high ground, 2 tanks on the low ground. The boys are being pulled as well. Can HonMonO survive? The force fields get thrown down, and LeoRusher, he's breaking through. He's barely breaking through. He dives on top of the tanks, and LeoRusher, he has done it. The counter 2-base all in. It's working. He does it. There's nothing left here for HonMonO. Only the production. A little bit too greedy. GG, and LeoRusher, he takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. I'll be honest once again. If HonMonO didn't go for the triple tank drop, it was too greedy. Too greedy. He went for a triple tank drop across the map. If he had them back at home, he holds. I feel like he holds there. If he had those 3 tanks back at home to begin with, we have a much stronger, much cleaner defense. But HonMonO, he took a risk, he took a chance. He was maybe a little bit overconfident. Went across the map with his 3 tanks. They killed probes, but we didn't have to kill probes. His opponent was already all in. He already didn't have an economy. And alas, HonMonO, he was caught with his pants down. GG, well played. LeoRusher, he advances on over his teammate. Congratulations. And now we have entered the round of 8. We have now entered the round of 8, and we have our next opponent lying in wait, ready and waiting. It's going to be LeoRusher versus Forjumi. Let's go. It's going to be a PvP.